I do hope that this vlog meets you or greets you in the very best of spirits, or feeling the very best of spirits. You know what? I am dedicating this particular vlog specifically to that proverbial question: is astral projection dangerous? Now, I had touched on this in different ways in vlogs before now. This one is warranted because I'm telling you, I get so many emails from people who are just really stuck on this negative aspect or these negative prospects to astral projection. Now, one of the things that we must always be mindful of is, no matter what is presented to us, that we always consider the source first and foremost. Who is giving the information? Is it someone who's speaking from experience? Is it someone who's speaking from what they've been told? Is it someone who has a hidden agenda that serves those who are service to self? We must look at all of these things first and foremost. Consider them.
As more of us awaken by letting go of old paradigms and long-held programming, there will be an acceleration of fear-mongering and misinformation. We must be cautious of those who draw more attention to negative, one-sided perspectives, especially if the presenter is projecting from a place of arrogance, egotism, dogma, contempt, anger, defensiveness, and fear.
As someone who has experienced astral projection off and on for most of my life, and from someone who has talked to others who have had astral projection experiences all their lives, I am here to speak and say that astral projection is almost no more different than what we have here in this temporal third density reality. We have negative, we have positive. We have those who have more knowledge than the others. We have manipulators, we have users and abusers. We have those who are compassionate, we have those who care. There is much to be gained, and there are pitfalls. There are dangerous situations, and then there are situations to be triumphant. The difference is that when we are in the astral world, we're not bound by gravity. We're not bound by the laws of this temporal reality. So everything is far more heightened. Our emotions, our thoughts are far more influential in this situation.
If we were to look deeper into the story of those who have had negative astral projection experiences, we would likely find that there was something within or by way of their own actions, be it consciously or unconsciously, that created or attracted their experience. So in a nutshell, no matter what happens on the astral planes, it will still be a reflection or magnification of us, be it positive, negative, or neutral.
We vibrate. Unlike here, the vibration is different in that we have these meat vessels or these physical bodies that anchors all of us, no matter how negative, positive, or where we come, what dimension, realm we come from. These bodies anchor us all in this one sea of vibrational or vibratory consciousness. In the astral realm, yes, the astral realm is very vast. However, the negative vibrate and attract and is magnetized with the negative, and the positives and the neutral, and so on and so forth. Let me be more specific.
Unlike this dense realm, we can literally see, perceive, or interact with other people, no matter how positive or negative they may be. However, in order to actually perceive or see another on the astral plane, we would have to be vibrating at the same rate within the same space. In other words, a slow vibrating being would be beyond the perception or interaction of one who is strong and positive within their sphere of energy and vice versa. Therefore, we must ask ourselves, where is the danger here? When one who is negative or serves to self cannot vibrate fast enough to access the higher planes, let alone have direct access or interaction with those of us who vibrate at a faster rate, where the mental thoughts of oneness, beauty, peace.
Let's just say, for instance, if I happen to be in the astral realm and I am feeling totally free, not all caught up in my ego and fear and terror, and I'm in complete love, and my intent is to gain knowledge so that I can bring that knowledge back, download it in the collective grid so that those who are receptive to it can download it. Okay, that means that my focus is on the highest good for all or anyone who's willing to receive. I'm doing this out of more of a collective state of being service to others, allowing myself to be a vehicle for the betterment or good of others. That would mean that in a situation like that, I am vibrating on a level where I am gaining access to the higher realms, and our ancestors will meet us there where we are, those who resonate with the purpose of serving others. On the other hand, if I'm someone who is constantly thinking about how I can be a peeping Tom and watch some hot chick down the street undressed, or, I'm trying to get information so that I can destroy and deny and block someone from expressing their free will and their inherent right to be, or if I'm in a state of great fear, terror, anger, and hate, then that means that when I go on to the astral realm, I will only be able to roam on the lower levels because we are vibrating at a very slow rate when we are in this state of consciousness, and we cannot access the higher ranges or the higher levels of the astral realm.
The astral realms are very sensitive to our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Therefore, we can and will magnify elements of our inner selves when in these states. So in essence, we are influencing the astral realm while simultaneously creating our own experiences, much like we do on this dense, limited earthly plane. Therefore, we must be aware of our state of mind and thought projection, because it will determine what level of the astral plane we will create and experience. This will also set the stage as to whether we are susceptible to entities that are looking to latch onto our energies. Manipulative intelligences, entities, are easily drawn to those of us who project energies and thought projections that are associated with hate, fear, greed, lust, etc.
Now, there are entities, and I've talked about them before. Yes, there are entities that exist closest to the earth realm who are negative and who pretty much reside on the lower astral realm. They cannot access the higher realm because they do not have the vibrational frequency. They are not at a level of consciousness where they can access. Those higher levels has to be earned. We have to be of a pure intention and of a pure heart to access those higher realms. So therefore, there are entities who are very service to self, who exist on the lower realms. Some of you guys call them demons, some call them jinns, some call them interdimensional beings. I happen to call them intelligences. Many of us, unbeknownst to ourselves, are creating the negative situations, be it in our physical life or the astral world. We are influencing the astral realm whether we know it or not. Every time we have a negative thought, Every time we do something negative to someone else, that generates an energy, some kind of energy, be it from hate, fear, war, whatever the case may be. That energy has to go somewhere. And that energy, because it is coming from specifically from those who have a very somewhat of an ill intent or an ill intent, that energy goes to the lower planes. So many times when we find ourselves in the lower plane and we are attracting situations to us, it is because that is something that we are creating and giving off to begin with. If we find ourselves constantly attracting entities and situations that want to harm us or feed from us, there is something that we are doing to create it. It is usually out of a state of fear, all these low vibratory situations that put us in a very weak and compromised situation. So the danger here is that if we abuse astral projection, if we are coming from an ill intent, if our vibrations are low, if we are full of hate, full of fear, full of selfishness, full of greed, there are entities who are attracted to this because that is what they have access to, because it is low vibratory energy. On the contrary, there are beings who are very wise and advanced, who are open, and they are all extensions to us in one way or the other. But there are those who are vibrating on the higher astral realms, and then there are those who are in the spirit world. The astral realm, from my perspective, is like a bridge between the earth and the spirit world. We have beings who are highly evolved, who meet those of us with a pure intent and give us information, share information. They're there to guide us if the intent is pure. Then we have those who are very clever and very intelligent, who exist on the lower realm, and they too will give knowledge and share information to those who have or share whatever it is that serves that particular state of consciousness. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from the testimonies and what has been shared with me from people of all walks of life. I have a good friend. He recently had an astral projection experience where he was in what appeared to be like a government building. That's where it started off. No, actually, he said it started off by this metallic silver mechanical like dragon, very, very large, super large in size, that was chasing him. And of course, he outsped this particular dragon and found himself in a place that appeared to be like a government building. And then he found himself going through a doorway where he met an ancestor. This ancestor, knowing and seeing his intent, pretty much bestowed knowledge upon him that would help him be very successful in his mission here on earth. And that is to do what must be done to eradicate extreme poverty. This is the heart and the kind of energy this individual has. And so those brothers and sisters in the higher realm see this, they resonate with it, and they seize the opportunity to bestow wisdom and guidance on and upon him. And he was given, as a symbolic gesture, chains that were made of bones. Now, many of us who may be familiar with shamans and highly advanced spiritual indigenous ancestors, we know that This is something that is a symbol of high honor. Whenever someone, a chief of a particular tribe, or a king or a queen, or an advanced being, basically endow us with some kind of emblem, necklace, jewelry, or emblem, whatever the case may be, it is a noble thing. So my friend here had an astral projection experience that was very spiritual, and it reinforced for him that he is on the right track. And this gentleman happens to be very, very smart, very compassionate, very loving, and have gained a lot of knowledge through going through some serious trials and tribulations. And the ancestors who are about helping those who want to help themselves saw that and met him on the astral plane and saw that he passed all of his tests. Now he's ready to take things to another level. And this happens all the time.
Many souls have had very positive interactions and experiences such as the one that my friend had. Lives have been enriched, awakenings have occurred, and life missions are being accomplished for the greater good of all, which does magnify spirituality. Again, the key to having a positive astral projection experience is having the right knowledge and being one from a pure heart, intent, and thought projection. The greatest danger in astral projection is falling under the mind influence or energetic attachment of low vibratory entities. This can and will occur if we are not standing confidently in our higher power or powers. The moral here is when we are in LOVE and higher consciousness, there is no danger in astral projecting. Again, let's be very mindful of our thoughts, actions, and emotions and how we treat one another. For this is what creates our reality, be it here or beyond. Continue to question, learn, grow, and raise your vibrations in the process. And as always, family, you are loved beyond measure, and happy travels.